Archangel Michael says, "It's an emergency. Someone in your family who is in heaven wants to tell you something about money, hidden in your, open it immediately." My dear child, please pay close attention. I've been trying to catch your attention, because what I need to share with you cannot be postponed any longer. This message comes not only from me, your Creator, but also from someone who once embraced you in this life, and who still watches over you with unwavering affection, from the realms above. Today their spirit is pushing through every barrier, just to reach your soul. I sent Archangel Michael to stand beside you, and gently whisper this truth, because the moment for you to finally uncover it has arrived. Something long concealed is now ready to be revealed, not just a memory or an emotion, but something real, something physical. Something of significant value, something that belongs to you. This wasn't forgotten or lost by mistake, it was purposely tucked away, with care and love. The person who did this has since departed from the earthly plane. They now reside in heaven, but their love for you hasn't wavered, and their spirit could not rest, until this message was delivered to you. My child, do not take this lightly. This secret was hidden for a divine purpose, and kept from you for a set time. That time has now come to an end. The truth must surface. Someone you deeply cared for, someone whose presence still lingers in your quiet moments, left something behind. I'm speaking of a tangible hidden financial blessing, an envelope, a lockbox, an old cabinet, a disguised package, that's been sitting right in your midst. Inside it lies something that will astonish you. It holds not only monetary worth, but deep meaning. It will shift your understanding of your history. This isn't just about wealth, it's about legacy, it's about a gift meant to safeguard you. Heaven wants it returned to your hands. Right now that person stands with angels above, tearful and praying, pleading, please tell them, let them see before it's too late. They've tried to speak to you through your dreams, you've seen glimpses, felt their nearness, brushed it off as mere memory. But it wasn't just a memory, it was a sacred signal. And I've allowed this message to reach you now, because the need is urgent. This is more than just emotion, it is divine intervention. Heaven is knocking at your door, trying to share revelations. About an unsigned will, about property documents buried in forgotten corners, a hidden savings account you never knew existed, a key that went missing, coins wrapped in fabric, a letter with clues, a persistent voice saying, check the third drawer. It may sound unusual, but these nudges are not without purpose, they are signs, true, divine, orchestrated by angels to guide you. Love letter. My precious one, if your spirit is open to this, subscribe to this sacred space. Each time you return, you open the door for me, your divine source, and my angels to continue sending revelations, protection, and blessings. My child, stop and reflect. There's a spot in your home you always pass by, that dusty bag, that locked container, that notebook you left unread. Yes, that's where it begins. You were never intended to live in confusion or struggle indefinitely. You were created for more, to receive, to understand, to live in light. The enemy attempted to bury this from you. Perhaps even someone close to you here on earth tried to obscure the truth. But they cannot interfere with what heaven has already set in motion. You're reading this now for a reason, not by coincidence, not later, but now. And this message, it's not generic, it's a divine correspondence, addressed specifically to your soul. Only you can reveal what's hidden. I know you feel uncertain, I know you've been whispering in the silence, God, if this is real, send another sign. Well, consider this that sign. Doubt no more, don't be afraid of what lies ahead. This is a gift, not a curse. This discovery will not only lift you, it will fulfill the prayer your loved one whispered when they hid it. I witnessed them place that gift, with trembling fingers and hopeful tears. They prayed, if anything happens to me, let this bring them help. Then life swept forward, noise filled the silence, and memories faded. But not for the angels, not for me, and certainly not for them. Archangel Michael now stands by your side, urging you to take this seriously. There is no time for hesitation. Someone else, someone with misguided intentions, is sensing this too. Yes, someone unexpected is also searching. They don't seek your well-being. That's why I'm speaking now, because if you ignore this, they may find it instead. The gift that was always meant for you, might slip away, not because I allowed it, but because you refuse to listen. But I am still here, I will guide your path, I will reveal the signs. That envelope you ignored, examine it. That dream number, write it down. That drawer you bypass, open it. That intuition in your gut, trust it. You're not losing your mind, you're waking up. You are being spiritually stirred, and this message is the bridge between what's unseen and what is. The space between your past and your future. Between you and the one who's never stopped watching over you. You are not alone, angels surround you now, your ancestors are leaning in. That loved one, closer than ever before. They're whispering repeatedly, open it, please open it, you'll understand everything. Don't dismiss this like another passing video, don't scroll like a stranger. You've been led here with divine precision. This is your moment. The time for truth has come. Heaven has waited, you've waited. Now the hidden must be brought to light. I bless your hands, I bless your vision, and I bless the space you dwell in. I declare that all concealed shall now come forth. Archangel Michael bears witness, your loved one now rests easier, knowing this truth has finally touched your heart. Go, seek it, before the opportunity passes. You may feel your hands tremble, your breathing may slow, your heart might thump a little louder. That's not fear, that's awareness. Your soul is recognizing that something bigger is unfolding. This message wasn't meant to be soft background noise, it's a heavenly trumpet, sounding through your life. Because this cannot wait another moment. There's someone from your lineage, someone with grace, someone who struggled, someone who once looked at you with deep love, who believed in this day. They may not have spoken it, maybe time ran out, maybe obstacles prevented them. But now from eternity, they are breaking the silence. Only you can bring this full circle. And that hidden place, it's nearer than you believe. You've passed it many times, perhaps even held it once or twice, unaware of its depth. I veiled it then, I protected it. Because you weren't yet ready, but you are now. Because now your spirit has grown. You've endured enough pain to recognize truth, you've cried enough tears to see through lies, you've been broken enough to allow me to rebuild you, layer by holy layer. Let me remind you, there is no such thing as coincidence in your life. Everything you've touched, every corner you've ignored, is part of divine design. That room, that calendar with notes, that folded page, that nearly dialed number, none of it is random. They are clues, keys, sacred signals. And heaven is holding your hand, guiding you to decode them, before it's too late. This goes beyond money, my child. This is about setting something right. This is about breaking a generational chain. That's why the message weighs heavily on your soul. Because when you uncover what was kept from you, your entire life will shift. The cycle will break, the burden will lift, what was unjustly taken, will begin to be restored. It's not just wealth, it's redemption, it's truth, it's legacy. And that's what the enemy wanted to keep from you. The enemy thrives on your fatigue and your doubt. But I sent Michael to cut through that fog, with the sword of truth. He has already cleared the way. What remains is your decision. Will you listen, will you act, will you follow the voice rising within you, declaring, "This is real, this is for me"? Think back, remember that strange dream involving a family member. They said something cryptic, pointed, whispered, left you puzzled. That wasn't random, that was a message, a spiritual seed waiting for the right time. They might have said, "Check behind it," or, "It's not where you assume," or simply stared with meaning. They were trying to help you see. Now it's finally clear. There's something bundled in cloth, between books, hidden behind a photo. Something scrawled inside a book's margin. Something under a pile of old clothes. Something inside a plain folder. Something you said you'd check later. Well, child, later is now. Your identity is tied to this mystery, your freedom is tethered to this moment. You didn't arrive here by mistake, don't walk away empty-handed. If this message stirred your heart, stay connected to this sacred space. Let the flow of divine messages continue, let your spirit keep awakening. This is more than words, it's your spiritual appointment. Let these final words sink deep. You are not imagining it, you are not being dramatic. The urgency is sacred, the message is real, heaven is speaking. And now I'm about to fulfill that promise, in front of those who never thought you'd make it. I am placing in your hands, the very thing the enemy tried to bury. And child, this is not about revenge, this is about restoration. I am restoring what was stolen, I am rebuilding what was shattered, I am reviving what was almost declared dead. Your obedience, your silent tears, your late-night prayers, they were not in vain. They were seeds, and now the harvest is coming, in a way that will leave no doubt, this was divine. Let your heart prepare, let your spirit stay open. Because this blessing is not small, it's not temporary, it's not conditional. It's generational, it's a shift so deep, your children's children will feel its effects. The kind of shift that reroutes bloodlines, heals inherited pain, and reclaims destinies that were nearly lost. And child, you may feel unqualified, you may wonder, why me? But that's exactly why I chose you, because you didn't feel entitled, you didn't assume you deserved it, you simply stayed humble, you waited with grace. And now the grace you carried, is becoming the grace that carries you. This moment was never about just finding something physical, it was about rediscovering who you are. About remembering the calling, the mantle, the spiritual inheritance that always had your name on it. You were born with a mission, one that fear tried to erase, that grief tried to silence, that distraction tried to bury. But it survived, it waited, and now it is rising. This is the turning point. The memory they left behind is about to awaken your memory of who you are. Of who you were before the heartbreak, before the setbacks, before the world tried to rename you. Heaven never forgot your true name. And now you are being reintroduced to yourself. You will walk differently after this, talk differently, believe differently. You will feel the presence of that loved one in the room, when you speak their name. You will sense the alignment, when you pick up the item they protected so dearly. You will know this wasn't a random message, it was a soul-to-soul conversation. Their voice, their energy, their faith, it all lives on in you. And now it's being activated. The torch they carried, it's being passed to your hands. You were always meant to carry it forward. So don't stop now, don't let fear talk you out of what faith brought you into. Keep searching, keep listening. Because even more is coming. What you find may just be the first piece, there may be layers to this blessing, levels to this inheritance, steps that will unfold over time. And that's okay, I will be with you in every step, guiding, confirming, comforting. Trust what you feel, trust the nudge, trust the timing. Because I am orchestrating all of it, down to the finest detail. Even the delay had purpose, even the silence had meaning. I was protecting the blessing from premature discovery, I was waiting for your heart to mature, for your spirit to be strong enough, not to idolize the gift, but to understand its sacredness. And now you do. That's why it's time, that's why everything suddenly makes sense. And child, I want you to know something, they never left you empty-handed. Even if they didn't say goodbye the way you hoped, even if the words you longed to hear were never spoken, even if their departure left you feeling hollow. They still left something, a piece of them, a symbol of their love, a fragment of their essence, wrapped in a physical form. And that piece will heal you, in ways you didn't know were needed. It will answer questions your heart never voiced. It will remind you that love transcends time, that connection cannot be severed by death. Their love was too deep, too wide, too powerful to be buried. It lived on, waiting for this very moment. And now that you found it, or are about to, it will start a ripple effect. Healing will flow, not just through you, but around you. Your home will feel different, your relationships will start to soften. Peace will settle into the rooms, where tension once lived. This is what heaven meant all along, not just for you to find the object, but for the object to find you. For it to meet you in a moment, when you were ready to receive it, with more than your hands, with your heart, your soul, your memory, your tears. Let them fall, let yourself feel. This isn't weakness, this is sacred release, this is divine validation. You were always seen, always chosen, always connected to something bigger than yourself. And now that connection is tangible. The next few days will be important, pay attention to everything. A whisper in the wind, a flicker in the light, a shadow that passes, a name that keeps appearing. These are not accidents, these are confirmations. You are not imagining it, you are being led. And if doubt creeps in, just remember this message found you for a reason. Not by luck, not by chance, but by divine design. Do not fear what others will say, you don't need their permission to believe what your spirit knows. This moment isn't about validation from the world, it's about alignment with heaven. And when you feel the release, the breakthrough, the undeniable knowing that this was all orchestrated, you'll also feel their presence, stronger than ever. They'll come to you in dreams, in signs, in sensations you can't explain. And that's how you'll know, nothing was ever truly lost. So child, breathe, cry if you must, laugh if you feel joy, let your body respond how it needs to. Because this is what healing looks like, raw, real, beautiful. You're not just uncovering a memory, you're becoming the person they always believed you would be. You are stepping into the fullness of who you were always destined to become. And I, your God, am walking with you, speaking through the silence, comforting through the chaos, guiding through the uncertainty. I am the author of this chapter, the keeper of this memory, the protector of this legacy. And now I am the revealer, what was once hidden is now seen, what was once buried is now unearthed, what was once lost is now returned to you. So carry it with reverence, share it when the time is right, guard it when needed. But never doubt that it was meant for you. The person in heaven knew what they were doing, and so did I. We wrote this moment together, we wrapped it in time. And now you are unwrapping it, layer by layer, with trembling hands and an awakened heart. This is not the end of the story, it is the beginning of a new chapter. One where you walk lighter, one where the mystery has lifted, one where you live with clarity, gratitude, and divine awareness. You were always loved this deeply, you just didn't know how far love could reach, now you do. Your reward is closer than you think. The enemy tried to bury it, but heaven marked it with your name. They tried to silence your voice, but now I'm amplifying your spirit. They tried to block the blessing, but now I'm removing every obstacle. They thought it was over, but I'm just beginning. You are not cursed, you are chosen, you are not forgotten, you are favored, you are not late, you are right on time. So go, my child, go not with doubt, but with discernment. You are not just following a hunch, you are answering a heavenly summons. This stirring in your chest, this warmth in your spirit, this urgency you can't explain, this is your signal. The divine timeline is in motion, and what was once hidden from your eyes, is now being illuminated with clarity. This is the moment, when mystery becomes meaning, when what seemed random becomes a revelation. You must understand, the enemy tried everything to delay this. There were detours placed in your path, distractions crafted with precision. But every time you chose to rise, to believe, to try again, you dismantled the very traps, set to keep you from this discovery. Every tear you cried, watered the soil for this seed to finally grow. And now the roots are deep, the branches are stretching, and the fruit is about to bloom. What was dormant is awakening. The reason this feels sacred, is because it is. You are walking on holy ground now, not because of where your feet are, but because of what your heart is holding. This isn't just about uncovering something forgotten, it's about remembering who you are. You were never ordinary, the mark on your life is divine, and the evidence of that, is unfolding right now. Do you remember the day you almost gave up, the moment you said, "I can't do this anymore"? That day heaven moved on your behalf. Angels surrounded you, unseen but active. They began arranging what you now feel nudged to uncover. This message is the echo of that divine intervention. This moment is the outcome of the faith you held on to, when it made no sense. You thought you were barely surviving, but you were actually being prepared to thrive. Don't let anyone else's disbelief keep you from believing. Not everyone is meant to recognize the weight of your calling. Some won't see it until it blossoms fully. And even then, they'll call it coincidence. But you will know, you'll remember this moment, these words, this pulse in your soul, and you'll smile, because you trusted before the proof. My child, I am not asking for perfection, I am asking for participation. You don't need to have all the answers to say yes. You don't need to know exactly what you'll find. You just need to trust that if I'm asking you to look, it's because something is already waiting. Something with your name on it, something sealed with heaven's hand. And when you find it, because you will, don't second guess it. Don't downplay its significance, just because it doesn't look like what you imagined. Sometimes what looks like a note is a key, what feels like a coincidence is confirmation, what appears insignificant holds supernatural weight. Discern not with your eyes alone, but with your spirit, let your peace be the compass. There will be emotions, maybe even tears. Let them come. That is your soul recognizing the truth. That is heaven's way of saying, yes, this is it. Don't resist the emotion, it's proof that your spirit has made contact with something eternal. Something left behind with intention, something placed, not just for you to find, but for you to carry forward. This moment is not about possession, it's about purpose. What you're finding is not just meant to bless you, it's meant to remind you of your role. You are a vessel, a carrier of legacy, a bearer of divine light. And now that light is being reignited. Because you've dared to believe again, because you've chosen to act, when most would hesitate. I know you're afraid, I know part of you wonders, what if I'm wrong? But listen closely, even if you don't find the physical thing right away, you've already found the truth. And truth is the foundation of transformation. The shift has already started in your spirit. That alone will begin to change the way you see, feel, and move forward. That is the true treasure. And still I tell you, you will find it. The drawer, the letter, the object, the confirmation. Heaven does not stir without intention. What's calling to you was placed with care. You are not imagining it, you are being invited into it. So don't delay, don't let the logic of your mind override the knowing in your heart. The veil is thin, the timing is divine, and your spirit is more ready than it has ever been. Child, let me show you something else. You think this moment is only about healing a piece of your past, but it's also unlocking a part of your future. What you're about to uncover will not just bring comfort, it will birth clarity. It will guide decisions you haven't even had to make yet. It will shape your next chapter with divine insight. This is wisdom dressed as memory, this is foresight disguised as legacy. That person in heaven, who loved you, who still loves you, they didn't just want to leave something behind. They wanted to leave something ahead. They saw further than you knew, they believed in your potential, they trusted you with what others ignored. And even now they are near, watching, waiting, cheering. The message you've heard, it's partly from them, and now their part is complete, the rest is yours. Breathe again, slow, deep. Let your spirit settle into this knowing. You are seen, you are trusted, you are loved. The grief you carry does not disqualify you, the questions you have don't cancel the call. You are not too late, you are right on time. And the confirmation you've longed for, it's unfolding now, not in shouts, but in stillness. Not with chaos, but with clarity. So when you go, go softly, but surely. Let reverence guide you, let curiosity lead you, let gratitude walk beside you. And when your hand touches what's meant for you, don't be surprised if the atmosphere shifts. Don't be surprised if the room feels different. That is presence, that is alignment, that is heaven saying, this is the moment we prepared for. Do not waste time explaining this, to those who won't understand. This is sacred, this is yours, this is between you, your God, and the one in heaven, who never stopped believing in you. Keep it close, honor it well, use it wisely, let it mark the beginning of something beautiful, something eternal, something that changes, not just you, but the generations to come. And when it happens, my child, when you open it, when you see it, when you feel that surge of recognition, just pause. Let your heart speak what words cannot, let your tears be the testimony, let your joy be the echo. And remember, all of heaven is rejoicing with you. What was hidden is now revealed, what was delayed is now delivered, what was once just a whisper is now your reality. You are the one, you always have been. And now it's time to rise into that truth. Carry the blessing, share the light, live with the awareness that something holy has been placed in your care. And walk forward, knowing heaven chose you, for this very moment. And yes, I'm still here, they're still here, and the blessing, it's still waiting. Waiting not because it's delayed, but because this exact moment was chosen for your awakening. You see, nothing about this is random. Every whisper in the silence, every tug on your heart, every time you almost walked away, but didn't, that was me holding you steady, guiding you closer. You are not imagining the pull, you are not fabricating this sacred sense of urgency, it's real, it's divine, and it's happening now. You may be asking, why now? Because your soul is finally open enough to hold the magnitude of this gift. Because you've endured enough to understand the value of grace. Because what once would have scared you is now strengthening you. And because the one who left it for you whispered, let them find it when they're strong enough to carry the truth. And you are child, you are strong enough, you are ready enough, you are worthy enough. So don't second guess yourself now. This is not the time for hesitation. This is the time for reverence, for movement, for sacred action. Go where you're being called, look again, touch the thing you've overlooked. And when your fingers brush against what you were meant to find, don't just see it with your eyes, feel it with your spirit. Feel the warmth rise in your chest, the tingling along your arms, the peace rushing through your bloodstream. That is heaven saying, yes, child, you made it. The person who left this, they didn't do it casually. They did it with trembling hands, and a heart full of prayer. They sealed it with love, whispered your name over it, and said, let this find them when they need it most. And I heard them loud and clear. That's why I protected it through time, why I hid it from harm, why I guarded it through storms, through grief, through confusion, until now. This isn't just a discovery, it's a release. A release of burdens you've silently carried for years, a release of the lie that you were forgotten, a release of the belief that heaven was silent. I have never been silent, I've been speaking in signs, in moments, in nudges, in repetition. I've been patient, while you wrestled with your own timing. But now, my beloved, we are in sync. And when heaven and earth align, nothing can stop what's meant to reach you. So listen to that breath you just took, that long deep inhale, that suddenly felt easier. That's your spirit responding to truth, that's your soul leaning in, that's the one in heaven, standing beside you, hand on your shoulder, saying, I knew you'd get here. You are not alone in this, you never were. And as you receive what has been waiting, don't just open it with your hands, open it with your heart. And as the contents unfold, don't be surprised if memories flood in, if you smell a familiar scent, if tears fall without effort. That's how sacred memory works, it's not always in the mind, it's in the soul. And this soul of yours remembers the love you thought you lost. But you never lost it, it transformed, and now it's returning full circle, carrying answers you didn't know you needed. You may feel overwhelmed, and that's okay. Let it wash over you, let it cleanse you, let it speak to the parts of you that have felt forgotten, weary, tired of waiting. This is your confirmation, that waiting was not wasted, that the silence was sacred, that the delay was divine, that you were always on schedule for a miracle. And when you look up, through tear-filled eyes, or trembling hands, know this. I, your God, am proud of you. For not giving up, for still believing, for trusting the unseen, even when it hurt. You are braver than you know, more loved than you can comprehend, and more connected to heaven than you realize. So now, let what is hidden no longer be hidden, let what was prayed over be found, let what was left behind be opened, and let what was locked away be received with reverence. Because this is more than a gift, it's more than money, it's more than a message, it's a covenant, a sacred pact between heaven and you, a sign that you are not lost in the crowd, but known, seen, and chosen. Let this be your anchor in the days ahead, let it remind you when doubt returns, that heaven didn't just speak once, heaven has been speaking all along, and you, yes you, have finally heard. And now that you've heard, everything can begin to shift. Your clarity will sharpen, your peace will deepen, your direction will become clearer. Because this message was the missing piece, and now that you've received it, now that you've opened it, you can finally step fully into what's next. So breathe deeply, hold what you found close, speak softly to the memory of the one who left it for you. And when you rise, rise with purpose, rise with reverence, rise with joy. Because heaven just touched earth for you, and everything is about to change. Amen.